Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to day number 3, game number 19 of the tournament at the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships. My name is Jason Chute. I'm joined alongside Stephen Rombeek. Steve, tell us a little bit about the semifinal, the second one of the day, and our last one, Team Quebec versus Manitoba winner to play in the final against BC.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Quebec's first game of today. They did get seed 1, not having a single loss this tournament, so they got a bye. And they're going to be fresh on the ice. Manitoba had a grueling game. Oh, what a great chance. Manitoba had a grueling game against Atlantic this morning, and they are going to be exhausted from that, so hopefully they got some rest. Manitoba's going to have to dig really deep, and their fans are certainly going to help them through that. Quebec, they just have to play their game, which they've been doing all tournament, and I think that they're fairly comfortable to do that.
We saw Paul Ham play the quarterfinal game for Manitoba against Team Atlantic. They decided to switch it up, and they're going to go with Logan Bilodeau for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Both are great goalies. Ham came out huge against Atlantic and made a big difference in that game.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. And we'll get our first look here as Quebec's Trabal Houle will look to flip that one out to center ice.
And, of course, Gravel in the net for Quebec, their only goalie that they have here, has been absolutely outstanding thus far.
I believe he's only let one goal in this whole tournament.
That's correct.
Now here comes Team Manitoba firing up the right side, now dishing it off, and now here's Armbruster with the chance in early. Elijah Armbruster in on goal, shot there off the post.
Wow, what a great chance by Armbruster, and that's exactly what Manitoba needs to do in this game, and I was really hoping to see that out early like that, and they are not disappointing.
And I'm sure everybody at home watching can hear the fans through our speaking.
Yeah, this Manitoba team has just shown determination throughout this tournament, and as much as the stats mostly have Elijah Armbruster on the board, it is definitely a team effort.
No, definitely, and he has been a difference. This is a high IQ play by Armbruster there. Deflecting that one out to the corner. Definitely had everybody on their toes. Here's Hanrahan with the puck there at the low point area. Slid down to Messoudi, and here comes Team Manitoba the other way. Can't hang on to that. It's picked up by Hanrahan once again and dropped back. Now hits Daggle in on goal there. Makes one move. In on goal. Shot there. Stop through the lane. Pardon me, and Bilodeau will get the whistle.
Yeah, and great movement by Daigle there, but you know what? That collapse of 2 defenders and the goalie there, that was going to be a tough one to get through. Couldn't find an opening.
12:18 to go here in the first period. Still no shots, so I guess the scorekeeper judged that was blocked by the defenseman in front of Bilodeau, and that's what I kind of think as well, Steve.
Yeah, I agree fully, Easton.
And Bilodeau, another one of those goaltenders who doesn't play with a pad, but he wears a goalie mask as well, like every goalie except for Duke Wicks does in this tournament. Out the low point area, trying to toss and turn something going. Now Greg Wire will fire that one, and Maidna cuts that one off. And here comes Rosello now up the right side, and here comes Team Manitoba. Claire will give him a bump into the boards now.
Yep, Claire all over that. Good neutral zone play by Quebec.
And here's Greg Wire in over the blue line, pass over that one. Will go a little wide to Trabal Houle for Team Quebec. And a good hit there into the boards and turning the other way.
Yeah, and Manitoba showing that good positional defense already in this. Virgie just coming in there, making it difficult to get those cross-ice passes that Quebec is known for.
Now it's picked up. Here's Team Quebec with it. Trying to drop that one off. Denoyer to Auclair. Auclair now into the slot. That one will get broken up. Auclair will get it back, though. And that one, a nice save by Bilodeau on the goal line on the rebound. Still loose there. Punch that one away. And now it's cleared out. It'll be kept in, though, by Trabal Houle through traffic. That one's going to go pretty high on the play. And here's Auclair down low. Once again, Auclair now for Team Quebec will look to set something up, though. It's taken away by Alyssa White. Now here comes White the other way. In over the red line that time. Narrowly avoids a possible tee with Trabal Houle there. And now here comes Team Quebec the other way. And a good job by Maiden to put his body on the line.
Yeah, big heads-up play. They were trying to get the change and get some new players on the ice, and Maiden just had that big heads-up play there.
And a shot they score. Beautiful shot and beautiful goal by Jonathan Dagla. And I think there, Steve, Bilodeau was caught out of his position. He kind of was committing to the pass a little bit more than the shot. And great IQ by Dagla there.
Yeah, absolutely. Dagla had a great shot, top right corner. We'll potentially see that here on this replay. Brings it around. Good defensive maneuver, keeping him on the outside. And you're right, he didn't seem like he was ready for that shot. Now that is on, of course, on his stick side with the glove side on the right. You know, Quebec was really trying to cut into the net a number of times, which we've seen previously throughout this tournament. And the defense have been collapsing down and doing a fabulous job of getting on the body and not giving them anything. So instead, they decided to take that outside shot. And, of course, that got one on the board for them.
And now here's Daggle once again up the right side, and that one takes a weird bounce. It's caught under Armbruster and broken up by Team Quebec there. But ultimately, it'll be picked up along the left side, and here they come the other way. It's Team Manitoba over the blue line that time, taking a bit of a bump. It's broken up by Team Quebec, and let's see what they'll do. I'll get sent in. 10 minutes to go here. We're about a third of the way through this one. Here's Armbruster now with a shot. Actually, sorry, doesn't get the shot off. Great chance, though.
Yeah, Quebec defense is quite solid.
100%, and it's very fun to watch how structured they are.
Absolutely, but Manitoba's doing a great job of not really letting them take control of this game and breaking up their normal flow that they've been showing.
Here's Messoudi, and on goal there. That one off the side of the net, a great chance. Now for Daggle. Daggle will bank that one down, and referee Chris Newell blows it down, and I believe the net's off.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far from Manitoba. Although it is Quebec's first game of the day, and so it might just be taking them a little bit of time to get into their flow. Manitoba's really breaking that up and not allowing them to play around the outside, which we've seen them do so well this tournament. Quebec has definitely demonstrated that passing prowess around the outside and looking through for cross-ice passes into the lane. And that's been very successful for them. Manitoba's doing a great job of breaking that up and getting it down the ice to get some offensive chances.
And all three of our officials for the semifinal match, apart from the Maritimes, referee is Chris Newell and linesman Ryan Walker, both from Hockey Nova Scotia, and the linesman in to drop the puck from Hockey New Brunswick. Here's Trabalhu with it. He decides to put on the brakes and hold up a little bit. Let it go for Eau Claire. Now Eau Claire going to fight for that one, but it looks like Bergeron's just going to beat him to that one and cause a little havoc there and slow it down a little bit, but ultimately Quebec will pick it up, and now Manitoba picks up the loose puck after it was fired over to the far side. Trabalhu looks like he's going to win this puck race, and he will. Now he takes a sharp edge that time. Flips that one through. That one just out of reach of Eau Claire. Now it's going to be a loose puck race, and Armbruster's got Eau Claire there.
Yeah, Eau Claire with a couple of goals and a few assists in this tournament so far. Really has great control, patience, and able to hold that puck down in that offensive zone. Very calm with the puck, waits for the best pass possible, makes things happen.
And there's looking to be a little conversation between Denvoyer and the linesman there. He's seen enough of Denvoyer. Now the puck is dropped once again, and here we go again. And it's Trabalhu. He has Denvoyer going up the left side and gets it through. Beautiful feed that time, just out of reach. What a hit there. Made to knock a bone-crushing hit there along the boards. Captain on captain. Here's Manitoba, as I meant to say. Got caught up in my words with Maiden, and here's Eau Claire going up the left side, met by Armbruster there in front of his own bench, and Lozella will take a bit of a hit that time from Denvoyer. Now it's played out in the slot. Now a great chance for Tribal Hool that time. Just misplayed it a little bit. So they'll look to center it and do something else here as we just go by the 8-minute mark. Now sent it out in front. Great reach by Denwoye there. Drops it down low to Daggle. Daggle now circling around the high slot to low point area. Now drops it for Tribal Hool. Through traffic. On the rebound, they score! Tanner Gregoire. And Team Quebec is up 2-0.
Absolutely. And Gregoire was just very quietly sitting in that pocket right behind the goalie, waiting for that puck. Sure enough, it came across. We'll see that on the replay here. Just great movement by Quebec. They've been doing this all tournament. As you can see, they all cycle around. And so it's constant movement. And nobody looking behind them there. Neither the goalie nor, I believe it was Vance there. And just couldn't see it. Quick rebound off the back of the goalie. Puts it in. That'll bring us to 2-0 with 5 shots.
So there's going to be a conversation over there. I'm pretty sure this has to do with Denwoye being kicked out of the face-off circle down there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Denwoye seemed pretty upset about that, and it might have just been conversation about how he positions himself for those face-offs.
Some linesmen are more particular than the others, and at this level, they should be really tight on their rulings, as they should be. And here's Daggle with the shot that time. There, here's Messoudi. And the slot that time, they score!
Yeah.
Saad Messoudi coming out of St. Hubert, Quebec, finds the back of the net, and 2 goals in just 22 seconds for Team Quebec.
Yeah, Messoudi hasn't put a lot of goals in this tournament, but there you can see that he has a great shot. He finds the back of the net pretty easily, top shelf. Good control. And he's been making a lot happen for this Quebec team. We see him in so many plays. Willing to go into contact, willing to play that choppy hockey. And there, just a beautiful controlled shot.
So the puck dropped by the referee, and we're off once again. Going forward off the draw is Henrahan, who takes a bit of a bump that time. So going forward is Messoudi, who dishes it off to Villeneuve. Armbruster just misses that loose puck, though Klassen in there to bail him out, and here they come the other way. That one just off the knob of the stick there. Now drop back for Daggle. Daggle now a chance in on goal there. And loose on the doorstep. It's cleared away by Team Manitoba. Tribal Hool will clear that one back down for his team, and Manitoba picks it up in front of their own bench and flips it up to center. That one gets deflected by Klassen. Klassen has White going on the first side, just can't win that puck race there. And now going down the other way. Icing's going to be waved off by that linesman there. Great call on that one. I agree with that, as both players kind of pinched towards the puck there. And so that's considered an attempt to play the puck. So therefore, it's not icing.
Yeah, good analysis there, Easton, on that one, on this hybrid icing.
I wouldn't say that's the official ruling, but like, you get what I'm saying. You gotta, if you can make an attempt, it's considered the same as touching the puck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's Auclair, has that top left corner wide open, just missed it. And now here's Alyssa White coming up the right side. That one's going to be fired down. Doesn't look like it's going to have enough on it for icing. It might actually, by the looks of it, and just barely. That one's going to keep its speed. I think if you get a fresh flood and that happens, it's going to slow right down and even come to a stop as we look at tomorrow's schedule, Steve.
Absolutely, yeah. So tomorrow we've got our first game, 8 a.m. Atlantic versus Alberta. And that is the placement game. And then we're going to find the second game, Ontario against the loser from this game here. And then the winner of this game will play British Columbia at 1 p.m.
British Columbia is a fun team to watch, Steve.
Yeah, they've been very impressive in this tournament.
Now here comes Manitoba traveling up the gut. Team Quebec will pick it up along the boards of their own end, and let's see what they can do. That time it's going to be sent up the right side. Looks like it's going to be icing. Waved off by linesman Ryan Walker. Here's Klassen with it down low. Takes a collision there in the corner. They're going to battle down there. Eau Claire frees it up. I don't think they realize it's come free. And now here's Manitoba going the other way. Now that one looks like it's going to be icing on the play. If it carries the distance and the players get there as they do with 5:02 to go here in the first period. 7-0 the shots, 3-0 your score, all in favor of Team Quebec.
And you see the scores there from today's games. Ontario taking Alberta 2-1 versus Columbia, 12-1 against Saskatchewan. Manitoba 3-2 Atlantic. BC 3-2 Ontario thus far.
A lot of close games except for that BC-Saskatchewan one. And can't really expect much when it's a number 2 seed versus the number 7 seed, and especially when the number 7 seed is made up of quite a few different provinces.
Absolutely.
Basically a little bit of every province on that team, Steve.
Yeah, there certainly is, but they put a good showing in this tournament and great opportunity for some of those players to get to play some games at this level.
100%. It's always fun to watch. That one just out of reach. Now played back. Here's a chance. Shot that time. Just sends it a little high.
Yeah, what a great opportunity for Armbruster there. Definitely hungry for the back of that net. No shots on net yet, but 2 really good opportunities.
Now trying to clear the zone, but Majinuk's going to carry that one in and send it down. It's going to be picked up down low by Asaja's knee. Now that one's going to be cleared out to center. And that one just out of reach is Mesu D. He has a little bit of a chance there on Majinuk. And Bilodeau comes out of his crease to play the puck that time, showing a little bit of what Chris Dukowicz likes to do for Team Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely. As you saw, he kind of was waiting for it. He came out early, a little bit less aggressive, and just waiting for that puck in that one position.
We'll take a look at our rosters for Team Quebec as you keep going there, Steve. Sorry to interrupt you.
Not at all. Majinuk had a great positional defense on there, not letting Messidi get around him. And then Messidi, with his speed, tried at the last second to duck around, but couldn't quite make it.
And now out to center. That's going to be icing just barely on the play that time around with 3:51 to play here in the first period.
And it really doesn't matter what's going on the ice. These Manitoba fans are going to cheer for it.
100%. And nobody's even came close to being as loud as them. Atlantic was trying to put up a fight this morning in the quarterfinal matchup, but then Team Manitoba kind of just laughed at them and started getting loud again.
Yeah, absolutely. But though that cheering sections and the loudness for that definitely matched the game that we had between those two teams this morning. One of the best games of this tournament for sure.
Now it's played by Eau Claire there, over to Armbruster, and a solid check there. Now looking to set things up. It's along the boards. Now played over. That one gets deflected a little bit. Now to Denwoyer. He can't hang on to it. Now it stays in barely. And here's Isaiah Armbruster now for Team Manitoba. Bank feeds that one up. It's easily picked up by Team Quebec in their own end as we approach the 3-minute mark in this opening frame. It's a long stretch feed up to Trebal for Team Quebec. Nice edge work that time. Still sticking with it. Now fires it down low. Villeneuve will try and get that one from Virgin in a head-on-head collision there in the corner. That one looks like it's going to reach Bilodeau, and it will with 2:48 to go here in the opening frame.
Yeah, Manitoba was trying to make a change there, and they were kind of lucky not to get caught with too many players away there. They were able to regain control in their own zone and result with a face-off down low.
Face-off will go to the right of goaltender Logan Bilodeau from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And that's where most of this Manitoba team is from, is Winnipeg. You got some Brandon, Stanley, East St. Paul as well.
And I was chatting with some of those Manitoba fans before this game, and they said Winnipeg has the best fans in the world. Bold claim, but they are certainly loud.
They are known to have the best NHL playoff crowds as well with their whiteout theme. And hold on, Steve. We got a chance now for Elijah Armbruster now. I don't think he really had to make that extra move there, Steve.
Well, you know, it's really tough. He goes outside. That's a big defender that has a lot of skill to push him further out. and I think he wanted to keep in behind as long as he possibly could.
That's a fair point there, Steve. Another shot there, and Gravel faces his first shot of the hockey game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just shuffles it into the pads, but you never know what can happen. But, man, I tell you, Gravel down low is really hard to beat when he's set.
Faceoff's going to go to the right of the goaltender, Alexandre Gravel, coming from Belleville, Quebec. So we're off one more time here. Going up the left side. Loose puck race now. That one's going to be waved off on the play. Good battle. Now here comes Armbruster being tightly contested by Daggle up the left side. Now loose puck is picked up by Hanrahan in his own end, being applied the pressure by Armbruster. Now loose puck along the left side. It'll be picked up by Gregoire, being tightly contested that time by White. Now it's going to be chipped down. Icing waved off by the linesman Ryan Walker. Right there to see that one between the benches. That one's going to go down for an icing almost without a doubt. There's 1:29 to go here in the first period. 7-1 the shots for Team Quebec, and they lead this one 3-0.
Yeah, and as we go down for this face-off, of course, we've mentioned before that Quebec has won pretty much every face-off they've taken. It would be great if Manitoba could take one here and maybe get a shot off.
100%, Steve. Pucks drop, and we're going one more time. Trying to clear it away. Broken up, though, in front. No chance for Armbruster. What a chance there, but I think Hanrahan was there to create a little havoc there in the lane. Plug it up. Now Armbruster will try and tee that one up, and just doesn't really get much on it. Might have gotten deflected as well. But take a look right now, Steve. Look at Gravel in net. Look how tall he is when he sits there on his cross-legged in front.
Yeah, absolutely. He takes that. There's a number of goalies that do that cross-legged design with the one pad up front. They allows them to stand up on that pad. The only downside to that is that when they want to go across the net, then they have to back down onto the blade and shuffle across to reset. So a team that's really fast and has a good backdoor options can beat a goalie on the low down on those across the net. But right now, Gravel is really only leaving the top corners so far, and that's the only time he's been beat thus far, is right in the top shelf.
And that's that one time, Steve. And Rafat will send that one along the boards. It's picked up by Armbruster. And now that one gets poked away a little bit. Here's Villeneuve with it. They'll try and chip that one off the boards. Here's Auclair with it. Auclair trying to get that one to Desnoyers, and here he comes. He dishes that one off to Auclair, and Auclair keeps Desnoyers on side. And here's Auclair now with a chance. That didn't really work out for him. Under 30 seconds to go here in the opening frame. Down low, let's see what they decide to do. It's down low for Auclair. Auclair tries to put that one out in front, though. Gets blocked through traffic. Let's see what happens here. That one gets poked away, and here comes Team Manitoba off the right side now. Pass up to Rosello. And now that one, good collision there in open ice. Nothing going for it. 5 seconds to go now. Maybe a chance for one last rush for Manitoba, but no, the Quebec defense is just too strong there, and that's going to do it. 3-0 Quebec. 7-1 the shots for Quebec after 1 period of play. What needs to happen in the second period and happen in the talk in the locker room for Team Manitoba?
Yeah, Manitoba's been doing a great job in front of the net for Quebec. If they can get that scrum type hockey right in the front of the net more, there's some real opportunity to find the back of the net there. I think that's going to be the coaching staff is going to tell them to really push the defense and look to just get that in front of the net. Quebec's defense really hasn't been handling that too well. And there's just some opportunity for them there. And I think that's what's going to happen in this second. Let's see if we can get some more of that.
My name's Easton Shoup. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. We'll see you here for the second period of play.
Our mission at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada is to really make the lives of patients and families the best that it can be and really lift up patients who need our services to fulfill the most optimal version of themselves.
We take care of all orthopedic problems in pediatrics, but we super specialize in really rare conditions and
complex conditions that involve orthopedics and other specialties.
A lot of the patients that will come to the motion lab are surgical candidates. So the surgeon may be able to do a great plan with just medical imaging, with the clinical history of the patient and some observation, whereas the motion lab will bring real numbers that we can measure that the eye cannot catch necessarily. And so it allows us to be more precise in the diagnostic of the patient, and then it allows us to better plan the treatment.
Rehabilitation is not easy. It's a tough part. So when we do rehabilitation, we did the surgery. Now we have the tough part, moving with difficulties. And it's saying, okay, now you're gonna have to do something that you might not wanna do. So how do we make that enticing for a patient to do this? And when I see parents writing back and saying, going to physio is the best part of my day, I said, oh, we're doing definitely something right.
Without Shriners, I know my leg wouldn't be straight. And Shriners, it's really special because there's only 2 doctors that can do this type of operation. So I know I couldn't just go to another hospital. It was here or I wouldn't do it. So everything is super for me and the future looks bright ahead.
Shriners is incredibly unique because we take the time for our patients. We take the time to listen, to understand what their needs are. Our team in social services, we try and make it as simple as we can for our families. Families coming from out of province, having a greeter meet them at the airport, drive them to the hotel. We make sure that our families are comfortable in what they do and in their decision of coming to our hospital, knowing that our people are the best that you can have right now.
Yeah, this place is definitely like a family because they treat you very nicely here. They treat you like you're one of them. When you come in for like an x-ray, like, hey there Michael, you know, how are you? Yeah, everyone that works here definitely has positive attitude, always smiles on your faces. I know a lot of people here, I love them like a family.
You know, when you're a parent that has a child that's disabled, either wheelchair or has some disability, it's tough on the parents. And you know, when they come to the Shriners and they see other parents that have the same kind of child as they do, it's almost comforting in a way, you know, and they can exchange ideas. I can't tell you how many patients became friends from different backgrounds, completely. You know, French or English, it doesn't matter. Because they have the same kind of disability, you know, they become friends because they see each other in the clinic together. And sometimes we make sure to invite them at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, we make that effort, you know, so that these conditions, that these kids, you know, feel good and the parents feel great about that. And I think that that's something that we pride ourselves in.
During the treatment, when it's really hard on him because he goes through a lot of emotions, anxiety, we always have one nurse that comes to distract him, to play games with him. They bring their virtual goggles so that he doesn't think of the pain that he's going to go through. All these little details make the Shriners so special.
We cover a wide range from the molecular to the bedside of the patient. And that was the vision from the get-go. And I think the best example that this vision works is that this facility has developed a standard of care for 3 pediatric metabolic bone diseases. So those now are the treatments that are used throughout the world that were developed here at Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada. And I think it is unique because it has a very high-performing research center, which not all hospitals have.
We are becoming experts, and in certain cases we are identified as the leaders in North America in rare and complex bone-related disease. For certain, we have the biggest group of patients for osteogenesis imperfecta in North America. But that being said, we want to be identified as a leader in pediatric orthopedics so that when your kid has a rare disease or complex, it's obvious that you're going to come at Shriners. And we want to be the place in Canada. That's part of our vision.
Shriners is special because they have like the family kind of vibe. Here you're really going to have care, you're going to be informed, you're going to have support. That is really important. They are human here. not just nurses, not just physicians, not just doctors. They are human. They have human values, and this is what makes them different than others. The Shriners are really the one that has my heart.
What we offer children and families goes beyond clinical care. I'm just really grateful to work here because people from every department, everyone really has this passion of giving back, whether it's people who work in maintenance, in the kitchen, in audiovisual services, in research, in clinical, at the reception. Every person has a role and makes a difference. And when you see this teamwork and everyone coming together with their energies, everyone wants to make a difference in the child's life. And it's really obvious from this kindness and this motivation to do better. To me, this is what really makes the Shriners special.
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome back to our second and final semifinal game between Team Manitoba and Team Quebec. And Team Quebec is leading this one 3-0, and they lead the shot 7-1 as well. Steve, what can we expect in the second period?
Well, for sure, Quebec is just going to continue to do what they're doing on their offense. And I am wondering if they're going to pick up the physicality in front of their own net on defense, because that's been the area where Manitoba has had some great opportunities. That scrum-type hockey that is just right in front of the net. And then all it will take is one little puck to come loose, find the stick of Armbruster or one of these other great players, and they'll be able to get it past Gravel if he can't see it.
And so they've sent the teams back to their benches. The ice seems to be a little too wet for playing surface requirements. And so they're going to go out there with what looks to be a squeegee or something along those lines to try and send all that water to the corner.
Yeah, and we've seen that throughout this tournament, that there is quite some spots, and I know from playing on this ice regularly that there are some spots that do develop some puddles. And I tell you what, we've seen it over and over again in this tournament where that puck magically stops, and that really throws off the players. Can't really get anything going when you can't anticipate the movement of the puck. And it is good to see that these linesmen and officials are all over that and making sure that we get a good, fair hockey game here.
For sure, and you can already tell by now, looking at center ice, it already starting to look frozen up. That far corner over there by the officials' room, Steve, that's looking like a good spot, and same in the right corner there, in the corner by the Zamboni doors. Those are two corners that look pretty wet to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and we'll kind of watch for that in the early parts of this period.
Now here's Team Quebec coming up the left side as we're set to go now. Now a hit there into the boards. Now a chance there for Gregoire. That one just goes a little wide. And then played over to Denoyer actually, but that one will lose him. Pardon me there, Steve. And Gregoire will try and get back in the play over on the first side.
Yeah, and Quebec continues to play their very controlled hockey. You see that they have good control in their own zone, and when they have that puck on their stick, they are happy to keep it there and look for those plays as opposed to just throw it away. Now that one did get away from them, looking for a bit of a longer stretch pass, which isn't always their technique, but certainly they went for it on that one, and that will bring it all the way back down with the icing call.
14-12 to play here in the second period. 7-1 the shots for Team Quebec as they lead at 3-0. Still waiting for our first shot of this second period. And we'd love to see Manitoba get a 1, 2, or even maybe 3 to tie this one up.
Absolutely.
Right off the draw, that one's going to be sent down. Sevigny, for Team Quebec is going to take that one and pass up the right side. Now coming in from the blue line. Now Claire's going to pass it up to Gregoire, and here's an opportunity. Staying on side, passing it over the blue line there, so they're able to stay on side on that one. Pardon me. Team Manitoba fans wanted the offside there, but I believe since they passed it over, it's all good.
And White putting in a good effort on this forecheck.
Denoyer, look here at center. He's trying to be sneaky there and get a little breakout pass going. And just something like that.
Absolutely. And Messoudi couldn't quite get a stick on that, but man, that would have been a beautiful breakaway.
100%. And he beats out the icing as well. Now here's Tribal Hool. Sent down or trying to get a shot there, but it's blocked in the lane by Team Manitoba. That's something they do really well at, Steve, is they clog the lanes really well.
And Rosella was all over that, putting the body in the way. And they've been doing that all tournament, and it's really been beneficial for them against some of the players that really can move the puck around.
And now here's Team Quebec, and as we just said, Steve, that corner down there is looking a little wet.
Yeah, you can see that the puck's not moving the way the players expect it to, and it's causing havoc for everyone.
And now here's Team Quebec. Just can't hold on to that one there in the corner. And here's Manitoba. They'll dish that one off to Armbruster. That one comes out to center. Here's Tribal Hool now for Team Quebec. We'll like to see what he's going to do with this one.
Rosello doing a great job on the forecheck there. White in there.
Now there's going to be a penalty on the way to Team Quebec. It's going to go to Jonathan Daigle from Boucherville, Quebec for interference on the play at 12:15.
Well, what a great forecheck effort by Rosello there. White was also in there right at the end of that play.
And Daigle there kind of exchanging a little words with the Manitoba fans, and the linesman Ryan Walker over there is just giggling over there.
Yeah, absolutely. These fans are certainly a boost, getting in the heads of any player they can. Positive way for Manitoba, a little bit of a negative way for the rest of them. They're going to do whatever it takes to help their team.
Now that one's going to be dropped back, and here's Delorier. Here's Team Quebec now. It's Tribal Hool with the puck. Let's see what they can do shorthanded, and a pass up that time for Armbruster now. Here comes Isaiah Armbruster up the gut of the ice. They're going to carry this one over. And let's see what Isaiah Armbruster can do here. Just that one kind of gets away from him. He'll gather it back up and send that one along the boards for Delorier down low. Armbruster right down there with him. Now here's Team Manitoba. They're going to drop that one back. Just a little out of reach for Rosello, and he's not going to be able to keep that one in. Here's Rosello now entering the zone. Now great chance. Here's Rosello in the slot now, making a move. Loses that one.
And Gravel tracked that all the way right into the pad and into the glove.
For sure, and man, those fans are fired up over there. And we finally get to see our first shot of the second period. Comes from Team Manitoba on the power play.
Yeah, Manitoba is doing a great job on this power play so far, keeping it pretty good pressure on the offensive zone here. Multiple different opportunities. On the initial rush, Armbruster just won and gets a great shot there, Isaiah Armbruster.
Yes, that was a great shot, and shot it low trapper on Gravel, looking to sneak something through, and maybe he's been watching their film a little bit, seeing if there's any weaknesses on Gravel potentially.
Well, and absolutely, and that test for Gravel there is, that's one of the best tests he had this whole tournament, to be honest. And if he had, the last time Armbruster came up the wing, if he had just not pushed away and got that shot away, it would have been another great opportunity. Certainly Armbrusters have both shown that they can pick up those top corners.
For sure, and that one gets caught behind Denoyer. Here's Tribal Hool with it. That one off the glass. Now skating for that loose puck. Here comes Team Quebec. And Armbruster with it. Applying the pressure that time. It's down low for Rosello. And here's Manitoba with it now. Bank feed up the right side. It's going to go a little wide of the intended receiver, Armbruster. And icing going to be called on the play, on the power play with 30 seconds remaining on it. 10:45 to go here in the second period.
Yeah, Rosello down low there saw Elijah right up on the wing and could tell that he wanted to go. And the feed was a little bit far, but great idea. And that's going to be beneficial for them. They have shown that they can get in behind that Quebec defense on those breakouts. They've got some great speed.
So here's a shorthanded ozone face-off for Team Quebec. Messoudi will play that one over the low point area and shot down, and a chance for Greg Wire in front of the net, shorthanded. It's just not going to quite work out in his favor as he wished it would. So now here comes Team Manitoba off the right side. Icing waved off on that one. Delorier kind of gives a bit of a hit there. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Team Quebec, and a man boating it out of the box for Quebec. So here's Tribal Hool now. Daigle joins the rush out of the box, and here he comes straight out of the box to see what he can do. Shot, he scores!
Wow.
Jonathan Daigle straight out of the penalty box.
What a great sight there for that top left corner. He was cutting across, and he just picked up that corner, which is really tough to do. We'll see it on the replay here. As he cut across, he noticed that the goalie was starting to move over, and as soon as the goalie opened up that corner, he just went for it.
And Daigle puts home his goal straight out of the penalty box. It joins the rush there. High IQ play there. A great pass. And Team Manitoba still cheering loud. And, you know, Daigle and Manitoba, they've started a little bit of a rivalry now. So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Absolutely. Daigle playing right into it, trying to hush the crowd after that shot on them, and just finding the back of it.
So that one back. It's Villeneuve who can't hang on to it, really. Rafat gets that one poked away by him by Vint. And now it'll be picked up down low by Trabal Hool. Down low in the corner. Now here's Quebec with it. Broken up. Trying to go for a little rush now. It'll be cleared out to center. Manitoba. Sorry, I'm not sure where this puck is, Steve. I'm talking nonsense here. Looks like it's now down low for Tribal Hool. Who passes that one up the left side, gets it over to Villeneuve. Villeneuve over to Messoudi. Messoudi with Tribal Hool with him, gets it over to him. Great play that time. Trying to get it back to Messoudi. Shot there, they score! What a beautiful play.
Absolutely. Back and forth, just the way that Quebec has all tournament. And then, you know what? There's not much the defender could have done differently on that one. That was just a great shot low. And just a clean goal there.
Take a look at this replay, Steve. It all starts here on that breakout pass over to Messoudi, and he gives a beautiful feed dished off to Tribal Hool, and then that one just reaches him, and he slides that one under the sled of Paul Ham, actually.
Yeah, Paul Ham's back in net there. And, you know, I think that was an opportunity for him to just drop down there and try to get that down low. The defender was doing a great job to push him outside. And that was Cohen Klassen from Stanley, Manitoba, the defender.
Now that one's played aside by Gravel. Very smart goaltender he is. Now Burgeon will pick it up. Can't really get everything he wants on it. Now it's taken away by Glant. Now Glant will try and get that one over to Eau Claire. Claire will pick it up down low. Denoyer staying wide for Team Quebec. Denoyer is going to clean it up down there. Clean up the mess that was made. And now just can't quite hang on to it, but Eau Claire's going to try and bail him out of trouble, but Majornock ultimately is going to clear that one out, and Delorier has it now for Team Manitoba. And here they come. It's Armbruster coming on the rush up the right side. Elijah Armbruster now has a chance in on goal there. Stopped by Gravel, and he's going to offer the whistle. 8:34 to go here in the second period. 9 the shots for Team Quebec, and they lead this one 5-0.
Yeah, and I don't mind that one at all. He went low on that one, and you never know when that's going to pop out for a nice rebound. Had two Delorier and can't see who it was. Another Armbruster, I believe, coming down there and crashing the net. Having a look at your Sunday, May 18th lineup. Again, Atlantic Alberta playing at 8 a.m. Ontario will play the loser of this game at 10:30 for that silver medal match. And at 1 p.m. we'll get BC playing the winner of this for the gold medal match. Sorry, the bronze medal at 10:30. 1 p.m. for that gold medal match.
Here comes Quebec straight off the draw. Looks like it's going to be Daigle, and doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to catch him. Maybe Armbruster here late, and the shot there, they score.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great effort by Armbruster, but a good race, and we have seen Daigle do that already in this game. A lot of speed, a lot of control.
Boucherville's finest.
Let's have a look at this one. And Daigle, just his own effort, picks it up from his own zone, beats everybody. And again, beats Ham low on that one. We've certainly seen Ham make some amazing stops up high. Last couple, he's just slid under the sled.
Now here's Team Quebec. They'll fire that one up the left side. Lost it under Rafat. That one's going to be fired down, actually. Here's Armbruster with it. It's going to be played up the left side. is going to be played up. That one actually being picked off by Rosello. And here's Rosello now in on goal there. Slide over, cross, they score!
That was an amazing play. What a heads-up play by Rosello there to find Roy in the corner.
Isaac Vince. Sorry to interrupt you there, Steve. What a beautiful goal. But look at these fans. They are fired up.
Yeah, absolutely, and rightfully so. What a beautiful play. And as we were talking about for the Gravel, that's the way to beat him for sure, going straight across. We're seeing this in the replay. Just the giveaway in the zone. Rosello coming across there. Heads up play. Nothing Gravel could do. Absolutely beautiful highlight reel goal there. And that brings us to 10-5, the shots in favor of Quebec.
It's 6-1, your score in favor of Quebec, but man, these fans are not going to give up their cheering.
No, absolutely not.
There's Mr. D with the shot there, stopped by the goaltender, loose in the blue paint, cleared away.
Oh, what a great effort there. Yeah, and Paul Ham showing that he is a fabulous up high.
Here's Villeneuve, who kind of whiffs on that pass. Here's Mr. D coming up the gut of the ice. Looking to get something going here. Down low, here's Messoudi, who plays it over to Gregoire. Terry Gregoire down low. Don't get poked away from him. Might look like Wines maybe. Now still loose there, right in front of the net. Shot there. That one just goes a little wide, and Alyssa White's going to gather it up and try and clear it. Ultimately, Quebec's going to get it once again and slid over to Villeneuve. Caught under him. Now it's passed over. Here's Gregoire, who's going to pick it up. Gregoire, shot there, wide of the net. Now a good check there along the boards.
Manitoba showing great efforts in front of both their net and the other net.
Send it out in front that time. Loose in the blue paint, trying to jam that one home. Still loose in there. Eau Claire is in there battling. Manitoba's going to try and get him out of there. And then the other way, here comes Armbruster. Here he comes up the left side. Good job that time by Messoudi to knock him off the puck. And Rahul can't hang on to it.
Yeah,
It's going to be offside on the play.
That was
this
great
time.
battle between Armbruster and Messoudi. All the way down the ice together. That's exactly what you like to see.
It's going to go down the other way. And we'll take a look at our playoff format here, Steve. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. So we have Ontario, British Columbia played earlier, and British Columbia came out ahead on that one. And we've got Manitoba, Quebec here, and we're going to see the winner to come there. All going for that gold medal match.
Now that one almost reaches Eau Claire up the left side. Just doesn't work. And now it'll be picked up along the boards by Raffet. He'll pick it up. And let's see what he can do there. Good job by Manitoba on that one as we approach the 5-minute and 40-second mark in this one. Now that will be cleared down the other way. It looks like Bergen's going to be the first one to it, so they get the icing call with 5:29 to go.
And Manitoba is definitely not going to let Quebec sit on their heels for this game. They are riled up. They are going to drive regardless of the score, and they're going to push for more and more goals. So Quebec's going to have to keep the action going. They're going to have to keep their intensity going, and they're going to have to make sure that they don't get too many more allowed for Manitoba.
100% there, Steve. Now linesman in there ready to drop the puck. We get set to go here one more time. Linesman drops the puck. We're off. Trying to go forward off it. Doesn't really work out. Now it'll be blown down and face off to the left of Gravel. 5:18 to go.
Yeah, a nice long high shot there. Deflected up over the net. But a good attempt there for sure.
5:18, like we said before, to go here. In the second period, linesman ready to drop the puck. It's Armbruster in for the draw with Mesudi with him. And here we go. And that'll be played up the left side. That one goes a little wide of Majdanuk. And it looks like Quebec's going to win this puck race fairly easily. Daigle has it and actually can't hang on to it. And Burgeon's going to take that one away. And it's going to be decided not to play out in front. Finally gets it there just a little later. Can't hang on to it. Now it'll be a loose puck race going the other way in front of the Manitoba bench. No hit there into the boards. Looks like there'll be a good battle as it comes out and might go the length of the ice. And icing is going to be called on the play with 4:38 to go.
Yeah, a good forecheck on that last run down the ice. 3 Manitoba players all going in looking for that puck, just waiting for an odd bounce or a mishandle, and they were going to capitalize on that. It was nice to see that. They were lined up right across the ice, just waiting for an opportunity.
And just listen to these Manitoba fans. Despite being down 6-1, they're staying in it and keeping positive in this one. As the linesman gets set to drop the puck. We're off here once again. Now it's going to be swallowed up by Gravel.
Manitoba's having a great second period. We've seen that before in this tournament. They've really come through in the second. Their first game against, I believe it was against Ontario, they really came out in the second and picked it up and put some goals on the scoreboard.
So the puck is dropped here, and here we go again. As that one's unable to be hung on to by Armbruster. Now, great chance this time. And Manitoba will look to get something going. That one's going to be picked right off by Daigle. Tries to get that one over to Mesudi. Goes a little wide. Now Greg Ware unable to hang on to that one as well. Shot there. Stopped by the goaltender. Rebound for Daigle. Stopped by the goaltender. Another one in that blue paint.
Still loose.
Greg Ware is going to drop that one back for hand. He's going to let that one rip high. That one goes a little high of the net. It's going to be covered up. 3:55 to go here.
Yeah, great another opportunity for Daigle out front. Just couldn't get a whole stick on that. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that would have found the net. I think Quebec's being surprised by the intensity of these Manitoba players on this period. They do not look quite as controlled and comfortable as they did in the first. Manitoba is certainly giving them a game here. And of course, it's giving us the entertainment that we want.
Now linesman getting set to drop the puck as we get set to go here one more time. Sent along the boards this time. Be picked up by Trabal Houle. Hit there, great hit. Armbruster tries to send one around, broken up by Team Quebec. Trying to exit the zone is Manitoba, and it's broken up once again by Team Quebec as they'll fire that one back down.
Nice little chip pass by White there over to Klassen, but he just couldn't get anything going.
Now at the left side, it's broken up, and here's Team Quebec. That one fired over far side, goes a little wide, and here's Auclair who gets in on goal. Shot that time. Nice save on the play by Paul Am.
Yeah, good save there, though. He didn't look very set there. It looked a little unsettled.
He did, 100% there. Denway is going to play that one over across for Tribal Houle, who's going to drop that one off for Auclair. Auclair now, see what he can do in the slot that time. That one's clogged up, and Alyssa White there. She's going to try and get to that loose puck. Tribal Houle now in the high slot. That time gets deflected and will go high and clear out to the corner. Now, Armbruster will send that one along the boards once again. Looked up by Team Manitoba, and here they come after taking a bump there along the boards by Auclair, and Armbruster gets in on the front as well. Now they'll look to do something. Tribal Houle dishes it off to the left side for Gregoire. Gregoire gets that one poked away by Alyssa White. Now here's Manitoba off the right side, taking a bump that time. Denwoyer is going to drop that one back now. Pass up through the gut of the ice. Looks like it's going to be icing on the play. Not really anybody contesting the Manitoba player there. And so 2:11 to go here in the second period, 15-5. This shot's for Team Quebec as they lead this one 6-1.
Well, some good intensity in the second period. I'm really enjoying this. What great hockey we're getting a show here. Quebec being held to 6 goals. Manitoba really pushing for that second one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Quebec's going to keep responding to this.
Yeah, they have that luxury with the 6-1 lead to kind of just let things ride, not push it too hard. But they got to keep that intensity going.
That one's played into the corner. It's picked up by Gregoire. That one will go off of Armbruster. Now for Maidenuk. That one didn't want to be hung on to. And banked up the right side. Here's Raffat. That one goes off the stick. And now here's Henderhan with it. Now there's going to be a penalty coming, I believe, to Team Quebec here. So late in the second period, we'll head to the power play in favor of Team Manitoba.
Yeah, Manitoba had a good showing on their first power play, and I think they might be able to get something going here with the intensity that they've had in the second. With this momentum and a power play late in the period, I really hope to see a second goal go up on that scoreboard.
So that penalty is going to go to Alexi Auclair for Team Quebec. 2 minutes for interference to call. Linesman gets set to drop the puck. And it's going to be a face-off infraction on Team Quebec.
Rosello and White off to the center of ice, looking for this puck. Isaiah Armbruster up at the point, waiting for a long shot.
For sure, and looks like Team Manitoba, unless they score, will close out the period on the power play. 1:30 to go now in the second. Now back for Armbruster. That's Isaiah Armbruster there. Trying to poke that one through. Giving a hit that time as well. Now fire that one up through. Block pass that time. Quebec picks it up on the doorstep. It's kept in by Maidenuk there at the line. Blocked through traffic. Elijah Armbruster there. Didn't really know where that one went. As we approach the last minute of play here in the middle frame. We've played 14 minutes so far in this frame. We'll see what the final minute brings us as Daigle will flip that one down. Definitely have the Team Quebec coaches on their heels over there. Maidenuk picks it up behind his own cage. Let's see if they can get a rush going. Has Armbruster going up. Great block that time by Mesudi to break that one up. And here's Armbruster with it once again. He tangled up that time. Could have been a hold. That's what Paul Ham thought. Heard him say that from his crease down there.
Yeah, but you know what? He was playing the puck still on the ice.
And that's it.
Yeah, it still had that opportunity to make a good play. I think a good choice by the officials.
That one's going to be sent down. Icing waved off as Quebec on the penalty kill. Under 20 seconds now to go. Now Maidenuk with it down there. Getting applied the pressure. And Trebal, what a one-man show down there. Yeah. He's just going to let time expire here. And it looks like Manitoba's kind of going to let him do that.
Yeah, and that'll finish out the period.
So, yeah, Steve, Team Quebec stays on the gas pedal, so not really much to talk about. What do you think Team Manitoba is going to come out in the third period with?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out with the same intensity that we saw in the second. They've been really hot on the second period all tournament, but they're going to have to carry that through, and I think they're going to have these fans behind them bringing through that energy all the way through the third.
They're going to start the third on the power play. Sorry to interrupt you there, Steve.
Not at all, yeah, and that's a key point. 17 seconds. We'll see if they can get something going, but that's not a lot of power play to go to get something going in the third.
My name's Ethan Schupa. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. We'll be right back here for the third period of play. Stay tuned. Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome back to our second semifinal matchup of the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships. Winner of this game will be playing Team BC in the final tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. And the loser will be playing in the consolation game, the bronze medal game against Ontario at 10:30 a.m. And there's a save made early by Gravel, and these Manitoba fans, though they're down 6-1, haven't showed any giving up with their cheering.
Absolutely, Easton, and I know I'm supposed to be impartial, but I think these fans are infectious. All I can say is go Toba, go.
Fair enough, and I'd agree with that. Everybody kind of likes to see comebacks here once in a while to make it interesting. So definitely have a fan base to encourage it. Let's just see how they concede on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Quebec has been playing just stellar all tournament. Had a couple penalties against them, but nothing major. A couple of small minor infractions, and it's been a very clean and continuous game and a great hockey. Manitoba's showing grit and grunt and just been stand-up defense in the middle. They had a little bit of in the first where they let things get away from them, but since then, there's been very little that Quebec has been able to make happen.
I was going to be cleared out to the neutral zone there. Sylvie will pick it up in his own end. Tries to pass that one up through. I think it's broken up a little bit, but Denouillet will get that over to the right side and see what they can do now. Eau Claire over to Trip Alhoul. Now almost. What a diving effort there by Burgeon to take that one away from Trip Alhoul.
Yeah, that was just a fabulous play there. It's not going to make it down for icing. Good forecheck here.
Team Quebec playing in an excellent game as they have played excellent all tournament. And let's see what Dagwood can do. Great drop feed that time to Messoudi. Now down low near the goal line. Sharp angle shot that time. It's stopped by. Actually, no, that one gets through.
Trickles through by Messoudi. What a great goal. You know, that drop pass there, it just goes to show these players know exactly where they're going to be. A no-look pass. Don't even need to call for it. You know, they can just. Right here, you can see that just drops it back, knows that his winger's coming up behind him, and puts it in just under the arm, it looks like.
I see it now, yes. Just barely finding the back of the net with 13:24 to go here in the third.
On that blocker side. Quebec showing what they can do when they get the chance. That amazing pass play we've seen all tournament long, and we're going to see tomorrow again. Likely going to be against Team BC.
Now it'll be a hit into the boards that time. Here's Maidenuk with it, fired up the right side. It's picked up by Waugh. Broken up though along the boards. Thatch will play that one out to Messoudi. That one broken up once again. And that one played along the left side. It's Messoudi who gets it. Now pass up the left side. And here's Maidenuk with it.
Yeah, and I saw the coaches from the Quebec team really talking to the ref there about the way Maidenuk goes in for his checks. They certainly don't want any of their players to get injured at this point in the tournament.
No, that'd be a big loss for them.
And Maidenuk definitely goes in very, very aggressively and goes in face first and puts the hands up. Maidenuk giving a little push there. I think Trebelhua was having some words with him.
I think Maidenuk's going to get the only penalty in this one.
Yeah, and we've seen Maidenuk take some penalty minutes this tournament. As the captain, he definitely stepping up and speaking up when he feels he needs to.
Face-off will go to the right of the goaltender, Paul Ham.
And we've seen Maidenuk get called maybe only once, I think, for a T on his checks, but every other check that he's done has been very aggressive, and he's never had to my knowledge, a roughing call on it or anything like that. So obviously these officials throughout this tournament have, from every game, have decided that the checks that he's throwing are legitimate.
On's been in there to drop the puck, and we'll get set to go here. Power play opportunity for Team Quebec. Pardon me. Now here's Quebec looking to step things up, trying to send that one across. It's broken up, and now drop back for Eau Claire. Eau Claire now in on goal. That one kind of gets broken up through the lane. Still loose in front there. Can't get a hold of that one. That one will get it wide. Tribal cleared out. Here's Daggle with it. Now up to Eau Claire, staying on side.
And Ham will cover that one up.
Now 12 minutes to play here in the third, 1:26 remaining on the power play.
And just listening to the cheers of the Manitoba crowd yet again.
Now to the right of the goaltender. We'll get set to go here one more time. Sent over first side for Henderhan. That one just goes a little wide. Now it's played down low for Messoudi. That one just goes off his stick there. Picked up in the corner. Now that one cleared out to the neutral zone. And listen to these Manitoba fans, despite being down 7-1, they still have all the heart. And Henderhan with it in his own end. Drops it back for Tribal, who has Messoudi going, and he decides to dish it off. Goes a little wide. But I think Gregoire is going to be there, and icing's going to be waved off on the play.
Yeah, definitely. Gregoire definitely had a chance to get that puck, and I think he got it before he even went to the line.
I believe it also slowed down a bit there, Steve.
Yeah, it looked like it may have been caught up against the boards.
Now it's going to be cleared out. Now Henderhan passes that one over.
Messoudi, a little shove there to Armbruster.
Now here's Team Quebec coming the other way. So before Team Quebec could really start anything up, the net is off.
And the Manitoba fans helping the linesman out there. Definitely calling for it.
I did see the linesman Ryan Walker there, who blew it down, see the net come off, and just wanted to wait for an appropriate time to do it, and didn't want Quebec coming in on the rush to find the back of the net while it's off, and then that could lead to confusion.
Yeah, absolutely. No, these officials know exactly what they're doing, even if the Manitoba fans feel like they can be part of that. Not sure what they're looking at here. Quebec coaching staff not happy about something. Want to confirm something with the officials.
Everybody seems to be all right now.
Maybe they felt that the goalie knocked the post off himself. I'm not sure.
The puck is dropped by the linesman there. And here's Tribal, who has someone going on the first side there and trying to go forward still off it. Denoyer.
Whistle down.
There's going to be a bit of a scrum happening in front of Paul Ham's net.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's still going on. Looks like they're just going to have a little bit of a conversation now, sort things out.
I believe Maidenuk was involved there.
Yeah, I believe you're right after the fact. I think the initial concern was that there's a little bit of a slow whistle because the goalie didn't have it. It was just one of the players laying on the puck. And as a result, the Quebec player continued to hack away at it with their stick and continuously hit them in the helmet.
And that's going to come outside. 10:24 to go here. In the third, 18-6 the shots.
It doesn't look like it's going to result in any penalties from that altercation.
No, there wasn't really much happening, really. It was just a good textbook scrum there. Might have been able to take 2 there on the first side. Looked like there was a bit of extra pushing and shoving there.
Yeah.
Officials decided just to let him play out.
And I think that's the right decision in this. There was both sides doing it equally, and nothing too outrageous there.
You either take them both or take none.
Yeah, exactly. As we've said, all tournament officials doing a great job, making some great choices on that. And that's not going to make it down for icing, so we'll...
It was waved off way before that one, Steve, so there must have been maybe a tip there,
Yeah.
maybe the possible attempt that wasn't touched on. I'm not really sure there. Now that'll be fired down, punched away by Gravel. Thought that one might have hit the protective netting down there.
Yeah, it kind of seemed to. Slowed right down, but no whistle on that one. 9:30 to go in the third here.
One will take a weird bounce off the boards from Daigle. And now here comes Armbruster out the right side. Now that one's going to go a little wide of the net, actually. We picked up along the board. Sent out in front that time for Rafat, who takes out away and fired up the left side. Now here's Messoudi, who picks it up, and here they come over the red line looking to attack. Staying on side there just by hair. Here's Villeneuve in on goal. Shot that time, gets blocked by the defenseman right in front of him now. And Messoudi's going to drop that one off. And here's Team Quebec looking to set things up as Daigle, who sends that one down low. Good job by Armbruster to break that one up.
Nice clearing by Armbruster there. You know, the pace has certainly slowed down a fair bit. But
sure.
anytime Manitoba gets that puck in the offensive zone, they're still going 110%.
Just like that one there. And a beautiful save by Gravel.
Absolutely. Manitoba's going to remind Quebec every time chance they get that they're always going to give 100% effort. And that's been the
100%.
story of Manitoba this whole tournament. Every step of the way, never say die.
Now the face-off to the left of the goaltender. Now linesman drops the puck as we're off, and that one cleared out to center. Pardon me. We're set to go here. I'm going into the corner, and a good hit there into the corner. It looked like Greg Ware and Majanock there. Got a good tangle off that time. And there's going to be a penalty coming to Majanock here, I think, on this player, at least to somebody on Team Manitoba. It's down there for Eau Claire to play with. They'll drop that one back to Sevigny, but can hang on to it. Denoyer will end up with it. Pass coming across to Daigle, and he'll wind up with a shot. They score.
Absolutely.
Beautiful play. Jonathan Daigle gets out on the ice after goaltender Alexander Gravel headed to the bench on the delayed penalty there, and they find the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just textbook Quebec play here. Beautiful up to the point. Denoyer waiting patiently. Daigle just comes in down the lane just like they have all tournament long. Puts it away. And that'll take us to 8-1. And I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much safe to say that the Quebec's going to end up with the win on this one. And we're going to get some great games tomorrow. Can't wait for that Manitoba-Ontario game, to be honest. And the gold medal BC-Quebec game is going to be phenomenal as well.
100%. Denoyer lays him out in front there, and there's going to be a penalty coming to Team Quebec there.
And a late hit as well.
Interference to call on this one, and rightfully so.
7:30 to play in the game. Certainly getting a bit more bumping around, and so
Manitoba will head to the power play there. 7:33 to go here in the third period. 19 to the 7th. The shots for Team Quebec, and they lead this one 8-1.
Yeah, and Quebec's a team that is definitely playing on that edge all the time, and they're willing to take a few penalties here and there as a result, and they've seen some penalty minutes throughout the tournament.
Now the puck being dropped on this one. Here's Trabal with it. They'll chip that one out to center. And here's a puck race going for Quebec. Armbruster and Gregoire collide there. Everybody seems to be all right. They'll fire that one up the right side. Blocked through track by Trabal and Messoudi will send that one down. And what a barrel roll there by Majanock. Majanock's not going to let him go easily, and I think they're both going to go to the box potentially.
Yeah, Trabal Hul was not impressed with Majanock there. Majanock comes barreling in. And you got to say, though, that at this point in the game, you know, we certainly don't want any injuries, and Trabal Hul is really upset about the way Majanock's been coming in with his checks.
So Majanock's going to actually be heading to the locker room. Trabal Hul just to the box. Actually, Trabal Hul has just been signaled to go to the locker room as well. Potentially just both 2 for rough and a 10-minute misconduct, but I'd like to see what the official ruling is going to be.
Absolutely. And Trabal Hul is definitely banging around in the penalty box there. Pretty upset about things. Eau Claire having a word with the official there.
So the puck is dropped. We're off here. Armbruster will pick it up for Team Manitoba. Let's see what they'll do here. They'll take it down low, actually. Trying to work into that position there, but Eau Claire doing a good job there. 5-on-3 power play here for Manitoba as well. Eau Claire now will try and chip that one out of the corner. Broken up, Sevigny in there for it.
And psychologically, it would be great for Manitoba to put a goal away here.
And right over there, they score. You called it, Steve. Isaiah Armbruster.
And again, that exact same style of play, looking backdoor on Gravel. And you know what? If nothing else, this is a great game for BC to watch. Gravel's been tough to beat, but Manitoba's showing you exactly how it's done here. Beautiful pass across. Backdoor, nobody home. And that's exactly what we said with that style of goaltending from Gravel. That's how you beat them, and they've shown it twice here in Manitoba.
Hey, look at this going along the concourse on the far side. What a supporter from Manitoba. Running a lap there, and I'm not exactly sure how big this track is in here.
Yeah, they've taken a lap every time they've scored for sure. What great fans.
Now that will be cleared away. And broken up by Elijah Armbruster, and Manitoba might make it interesting here, but Messoudi there to take it away, and here they come up the left side. Here's Armbruster with it, crashing and banging into the corner down there. Now, one will be blown down by the official down there. 5:54 to go here in the third period. 8-2, the score. 14 Quebec, 19-8. The shots in favor of Quebec as well. 48 seconds remain on the power play for Team Manitoba.
Yeah, and as I said, psychologically, Manitoba getting that goal is going to mean a lot for them. Going back to their hotel room tonight, looking for that game tomorrow. They're going to be hungry.
Hopefully their parents are as well. This is unbelievable. And the supporters and everybody here from Manitoba to cheer them on. This is great.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, a lot of these players have to travel quite a bit to play this sport. just like most amateur sports in our country. And the families have great support for them. We've got fans all across the nation watching live with us. Thank you for joining us. And a huge thank you to Ethan McBain for making this all happen on the live feed.
Behind the scenes, all this. I think, did Burgess just shoot that on his own goaltender?
I think he was just trying to clear it across the ice, and it hooked on his stick. And
good thing Ham's a good goaltender. And
yeah, heads up play by Ham there.
This is going to be blown down along the boards right by the Zamboni doors, and we're just about 2/3 of the way through this third period. It looks like Team Quebec's going to fairly easily skate away with this one.
Yeah, and we'll take a quick little look at that replay here. Just a mishandle there, and a last-ditch effort to get it out of the way, and almost an own goal to finish it off.
Yeah, what a way that would have been to end this game, and cherry on the top.
5:02 still remaining, to be honest. This has been quite a third period. A lot more stoppages than we've seen previously in this game.
Linesman there to drop the puck. Seen enough from Quebec, and will kick Denvoyer out of the circle. It'll be O'Claren now.
And I'm sure at this point Quebec is going to be fairly happy just to keep it somewhat on the perimeter, although they're still driving to the net.
That one just barely kept in. Hand will send that one down. Will be picked up along the boards, this time by Armbruster. Hit there along the boards. Pardon me. Now out to center. Here's Team Manitoba. That one, this won't work out. Auclair will take it. Denvoyer right beside him there. And here's Auclair entering the attacking end. Puts on the brakes a little bit. Tries to play that one across. And Denvoyer right beside him. They're not able to space that well. And that's unlike a Team Quebec to do, sorry, as I meant to say.
Yeah, I think their effort and their sharpness on their passes as a result has just dropped down to just enough that it's not connecting the same way it normally does.
Now a solid check there. Stayed on side as well. Here's Quebec now in their own end. Sevigny there takes a bit of a bump. Now here's Team Quebec, just under 4 minutes to go here in the game. Here's Daigle up the gut of the ice, looks to cut to the right side. Putting on the brakes, and that one will get hit across there. Sevigny, shot, they score! Yannick Sevigny from Beauport, Quebec. Finds the back of the net, and how many is that for Sevigny in the tournament? Do you know?
I'll have to look that up. Let's have a look at that replay as I do so. I'm not going to be able to give you a full total, but
just a beautiful shot there on the far side from Sevigny. That's going to be the first of his tournament, I think.
I think so. He's been involved in plenty of plays, though.
And here's Rosello, who's going to pick up this loose puck, or nearly does, catching Quebec asleep after it looked like Sevigny lost his stick there. Now here's Messoudi. Gets that one taken away by Armbruster.
Pace picking up a little bit more here with 3:13 to go. Manitoba getting fired up again.
Now it's picked up along the boards, trying to poke that one out in front, though. Armbruster, says no to that and sends it back to the corner. Now here's Daigle with it. Daigle now looks to cut to the slot, down low now. Villanova unable to hang on to it.
Yeah, and Quebec's starting to just make those passes on the perimeter. Not looking to crash in at this point and risk another altercation of any kind and getting banged up.
For sure. Now that one played in the corner. Picked up by Armbruster now, and here's Team Quebec down low.
And now I must say, without Maidenuck on the ice, I don't anticipate any other big hits, although we will get a penalty here. interference penalty coming.
2:07 remaining here in the third, and there's going to be a man to the box.
Villeneuve will get that minor penalty. Philip Villeneuve. And we go to the power play again. Quebec racking up those penalty minutes on the stat card.
So 2:07 to go, 2-minute power play on the way to Manitoba. 28th of shots in favor of Quebec, and they lead it 9-2. Now the puck being dropped once again. Denwillier and Armbruster tied up off the draw. And it's caught under him there.
Hand pass called on that one. It'll come out of the zone.
Sounds good, Steve. Good analysis there. With 1:55 to go here in the third period. 1:48 remaining on the power play. And now that puck being dropped by the linesman Ryan Walker. And now here comes Denwillier the other way.
Denwillier is just going to hold it in the neutral zone, run down the clock.
Now here comes Armbruster out the right side, entering the attacking zone. Decided to drop that one back for Vint. Vint now in on goal. Shot stopped by the goaltender, Gravel.
And you can bet Manitoba's just going to keep pushing this whole way through the last minute 20 of this game.
For sure. 75 seconds remain now in the hockey game. That one gets on goal to Gravel, and he decides to play that one up the gut. Tried to go for an assist there, but I don't think Greg Wire was on the same page there. We're in the last minute of play now in the third period. Armbruster drops that one back, and here comes Armbruster, up the left side. Isaiah Armbruster sticks it up, now to the right side for White. Let's see if Alyssa White can do something here. Pokes that one away. White now.
White's been excellent on the forecheck all tournament.
Aggressive little player she is.
Most definitely.
Coming out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. 30 seconds to go now. Tom ticking down on the power play. Just about 20 seconds now. Armbruster now tries to get it over to Rosello. Rosello shot that time right into the glove of Gravel.
Great efforts by Manitoba right to the end of this game. And that's exactly what you want to see from this team. They're never going to give up, and that's the type of attitude that they have to take into their bronze medal match tomorrow against Ontario. That's going to be a phenomenal game. Manitoba and Ontario met first day of this tournament with their first game each. Manitoba able to squeak past Ontario then. Great opportunity for them tomorrow.
Sure. I'm going to be fired down. They're just going to wave off that icing there. It wouldn't have been anyways because they're on the penalty kill. But time taken down. Men under the box now for Team Quebec. 5 seconds to go. Hopefully this one doesn't end in a corner because it could be a scrum if it does. And that's going to do it. So the final semifinal game comes to an end. And our finals, our placement game that's already been set, and our bronze medal game has been set. So our placement game is to be Team Atlantic taking on Team Alberta. And then in the bronze medal game, it's going to be Team Ontario taking on Team Manitoba. And then in the final, we're going to see BC take on Quebec. So an exciting day of hockey tomorrow, and you don't want to miss it. It's all going to be broadcasted right here. Steve, what do you got to add on that, or does that pretty much sum it up from your point of view?
Certainly pretty much sums it up, but there's going to be some exciting games tomorrow. Definitely Alberta and Atlantic is going to face off for the first time in this tournament, and that is going to be a game to watch. And a Manitoba and Ontario rematch. Manitoba taking it last game that they had, and that was a close one. Another great battle to see. And Quebec, we saw Gravel being beaten, and BC, I'm sure, is going to watch that footage, and they're going to pick up on that and know exactly how to get past Gravel.
My name's Ethan Chup. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. Day number 3 complete. Tomorrow, day 4, Sunday, the final day of the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships. You don't want to miss any of the action. And to make sure you don't, it'll all be right here on the South Shore Ice Storm YouTube channel. Stay safe and have a good night or a good afternoon wherever you are.